you can invest in crypto tax-free. I can't even begin to tell you how powerful that can be as compounded over time. Introducing BitcoinIRA. They were founded in 2016. They have over 200,000 customers. It was the first IRA for crypto. That's what we're going to talk about. First, my disclaimer. I'm Brian, not a financial advisor. Informational purposes only. Let's get started talking about this, because if you're my age or younger, you'll realize that IRAs are incredibly powerful. So take a look at this. You can obviously invest in crypto tax-free. Now, it depends on your situation, whether or not you're using a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. In other words, whether or not the money you're putting in, you can actually write off on your taxes, or it's pre-tax dollars. But they do have different advantages when you take them out. You will or won't be taxed when the money's being removed, but they can compound within these over time. So always seek out a financial advisor, because they can help you choose what's right for you, very specific to your situation in terms of income, but also in terms of age. Rule of thumb is that if you're younger, let's say in your 20s, maybe even 30s, Roth IRA seems to always be the way to go. It has better tax advantages in the long term. If you're older like myself and you're just starting one, usually traditional is the way to go, but always seek someone out. So here you go. Why would you use something like BitcoinIRA? Well, because you want to be able to purchase individual cryptos in a retirement account. If you're like me and you believe that things like Bitcoin are going to continue to go up over time, and you're in your 20s or 30s, even 40s, you might have 20, 30, 40, or 50 years of compounding. What do you think Bitcoin and some of these cryptos are going to be 40 years from now? Could be astronomical. So BitcoinIRA, they have up to $250 million custody insurance. So they've got military grade security, and they're insured up to $250 million against loss, theft, and misuse. When it's in the IRA, you can't put it in your own wallet, for example. So if you're familiar with purchasing crypto on an exchange, it might sit on the exchange. You might move it into a self-custody wallet. But in this case, they have to custody it for you. It's not just BitcoinIRA, it's any IRA. They would have to hold the assets. This is not uncommon to IRAs. And they have military grade security, as they mentioned, and they've got insurance against theft, loss, misuse, you name it. Of course, just like crypto, you can get on here, I'll show you in a moment, 24/7. It's unlike anything else, of course. Stock markets, you don't have that ability, so you can manage this on the weekend, whenever you want, whatever time. You can buy and sell crypto 24/7. They have over 80 cryptocurrencies available, over 200,000 users, lots of 5-star reviews. As you see here, you can roll over from an IRA, Roth, SEP, employer plans, 401ks, new or existing traditional IRAs. So you're going to be able to open a brand new account if you want. Or you can roll over from another account. They make it very easy. So it's very easy to sign up. There's a link down below. You can get up to $1,000 reward. If you use that link, it'll take you to a landing page. You're just going to enter in your name, your phone number, a password for your account, and it'll take you to the next page. And here it is, just 4 steps. You can choose to open a new IRA, and then you would put in your own cash contributions, an IRA transfer from an existing account, or an IRA rollover. Give them their personal information, review what you've put in, submit it, and then verify your identity. It's really simple. Just use your license. They have to know who you are, of course. That's it. Once you do that, you're into the dashboard. Now here on the dashboard, you might say, wow, that looks kind of busy. That was my first thought, but it's not really. It's very simplistic. They make it simple. Now, when you're in the process of setting up an application, you can finish if you haven't finished it yet, you can just finish it here, or it'll show you where your application is in the process, whether or not it's completed or done. Here is just what's your portfolio value. They've got some self-trading, but really all you need to know is this left-hand side. So on the home page, when you log in, you're going to see what is your portfolio worth. Then you're going to go over 2 things I want to point out. One is how to purchase the cryptos, what cryptos are available, but 2, they also have staking, which I think is fantastic. So if you go into self-trading, It's just like any other type of an exchange. You're going to pick what coin you want. You can have an immediate order, basically like a market order, whether it's buy or sell, and then two different types of limit orders. Now let's run through all of the assets. If you click live prices here, it's going to show you all the assets that they have available that you can purchase. Of course, Bitcoin. And believe it or not, in my opinion, if all they had was Bitcoin, I would still find it valuable to use it in an IRA. I hold crypto in an IRA. I think it's important because I believe it's going to grow substantially over time. Personally, I think it's going to outperform other asset classes. That remains to be seen, of course, but I want to have it grow tax-free. Number 2, Ethereum. By market cap, Ethereum's the second. When it comes to decentralized finance, a lot of things are built on Ethereum. If you're not familiar, the total amount is about 160 billion of assets, what they call total value locked on chain. Multiple chains make up that 160 billion. Ethereum alone is 80 billion. I believe today it's actually 84 billion. They're over half of all the total value locked. I'm a big believer in Ethereum. You watch my show, you know I like to hold it for the long term as well as Bitcoin. All right, then they've got, of course, XRP, which is usually third in terms of size. XRP and XLM, which is down here, very similar in that XRP is used for cross-border payments for banks and large transactions. XLM is used for smaller transactions. Actually, the CTO of Ripple originally had left and started XLM. So the technologies are very similar, targeting different markets. Why do I bring that up? I bring that up because if you scroll down here, they've got Solana, Cardano, Sui. Those are all layer ones. Chainlink's not a layer one. It's more of what they call an oracle, bringing price data in. All chains will be using Chainlink. So again, why I brought that up is they have done a very good job of allowing you to have, you might say 80 cryptos, not that many, but these are many of the large cap ones, and they're in different industries so that you can effectively diversify. Like I said, we've got some layer ones like Cardano and Sui, and you've got Hedera hash graph. That's interesting. I'm a big fan of Hedera. If you watch my show, it's a hash graph. It's not even a blockchain. It's very different. It provides a different solution. So you've got multiple layer ones here that actually provide and are targeting different markets. So you can diversify your portfolio within layer ones. They've done that here, I think, very well. You come down here, you'll see things like RWA, real world asset tokenization, treasuries. You're familiar with Ondo, Uniswap, which has been around forever, which is an exchange to swap tokens, one of the largest, if not the largest. You've got many other down here, which you're going to recognize. These, I think I've probably, as I run through these, render, of course, to be used for GPUs, for AI, but mostly for rendering videos. Huge network. People talk about it in the AI category. I also have it in the DePIN category, decentralized physical infrastructure, because you're renting networks of computers instead of having to own them yourselves. I believe they're number one in that space. You come down here. I think like I said, I've talked about on my shows pretty much, I would say 80% of the ones that are on here. It's not that I don't recognize the rest. It's just that I've gone through many of them because I want to diversify my portfolio. So what's great about this, and you can just come in here and click buy any particular one you want, is that you're going to be able to effectively create, in my opinion, a well-diversified portfolio of cryptocurrencies within BitcoinIRA, and they will hold that crypto on your behalf. This is what I think is great, is there's also staking. Now, staking isn't provided by BitcoinIRA, that's provided by these different layer ones, these cryptocurrencies. But BitcoinIRA is allowing you to take advantage of that. So in other words, you can earn a return. Now, they do have a whole staking doc, and many people may not realize this, but this is normal. Again, not specific to BitcoinIRA, but when you put into some of these, like you put up some Ethereum, you put up some Sui or Solana, there's 5 that you can do it with. They have a minimum amount that you can put up, and then there's a wait time. So here's the caveat. It says here, for example, Sui up to 8 days. If you were to take your Sui and stake it so that you can receive that return. When you want to sell it, you have to what's called unstake it. You would click to do that, and you may have to wait up to 8 days before you're able to access that SUI. That's just something you want to know. If you're trading it fast and you're turning things over, you may not want to stake it. But when it comes to IRAs, in my opinion, I'm holding them in there for the long term. I have crypto in my personal accounts. That's what I like to call them, as opposed to my retirement accounts. And I utilize them, trade them, buy them, and sell them very differently, because within an IRA, I'm holding it for the long term. So what's great is here at Ethereum at the moment is almost 2%. Solana, very popular, 4.5%. You've got Cardano, SUI, and Polkadot. So for me, that is a huge bonus. Not only can you obtain the price appreciation over time of the asset, the cryptocurrency, but you can also earn a yield during that time as well. I think that's fantastic. That's basically it. It's that simple. There's a link down below. Click it. It'll take you to the landing page. Again, you can get up to $1,000 reward for signing up. It's a simple 4-step process to either start a new IRA or roll some money over from an existing one. And by the way, if you're rolling some money over, you don't have to roll over the entire thing. Oftentimes, you can just move some of the money. So it's really up to you. And then you click to self-trade, buy, sell. It happens instantaneously. Again, 24/7. I think this is one you're going to want to take a look at. BitcoinIRA, over 200,000 customers. That says something right there. You're not the first one to use it. It's been around since 2016. That's 9 years. They're going on 10 years. That's a decade in crypto, which quite frankly is an eternity in crypto. So they've got the experience. They've got a very simple user interface. It's something I think you might want to take a look at. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.